everyone, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to give you a quick hint at what you can expect to see in this week's vlog. You'll see lots of Hanukkah celebrations, the book club meeting that I hosted, as well as some travel footage as I go down to my dad's for Christmas, more Hanukkah celebrations, and of course, Christmas. So this is a very busy week. There's gonna be a day where I don't do any reading at all because I'm doing a lot of last minute stuff. So let's just jump right in. It's actually 10:30 at night, which is about 12 hours since I stopped editing. And I'm still not done. But I'm about 82% through Kiss Her Once for Me, and still really good. We have some development, and I think we hit the third act conflict. I'm trying to figure out if there's gonna be another third act conflict. I hope not, just because, like I said, I'm at 82%. I would like to get the resolution now, so I'm fairly certain we passed the third act conflict. I don't know what else to say. Like, I don't want to give away any spoilers, so I don't want to give too much detail, but it's really good. Really excited. I should finish it tomorrow on my way to book club, or on my way back home, but either way, it'll be done tomorrow. And then I will probably end up buying, or not buying, but like, I got my Audible credit today, so I will probably end up using that for Self-Made Boys, because that's the only other book of the 15 that I said I was going to read this month that is on Audible. So I'll probably end up doing that, but we'll see. Right now I'm just focused on finishing this video and then finishing Kiss Her Once for Me, and then I'll figure stuff out. I honestly don't know when I'm going to like pick up a physical book before Thursday, because I have so much to do tomorrow and Wednesday in preparation for my trip and finishing up work stuff before I go on vacation for a week. So I might not pick up a physical book until Thursday, so audiobooks really saving me right now. So, but all right, gotta get back to work. Not gonna lie, I'm a little tipsy, so I will try to keep this as coherent as possible. We had our book club meeting tonight. It went really well. It was a really great group of people that showed up. I think we had a really good discussion about Season of Love. I'm just super happy with how it turned out, and the bar that we were at was really awesome. They did put us in a small booth. I mean, it was a sizable booth, but I had made the reservation like a month and a half ago for 10 people, and that booth was never going to fit 10 people. So I was a little confused about that, but I talked to the waitress, because we will probably have the next meeting at the same bar, because it was a great location. And I just double checked. I'm like, you have bigger seating options, right? And she was very confused when I told her that I made the reservation for 10 people, why we were at that booth as well. But it was really great setting, really great group of people, really good discussion, pretty good food. we just ordered like four or five different appetizers, which I think was great. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to the next one. It means I get to reread a book that I read. When did I read it? June, I think. I think I read this book in June, so I'll get to reread that in February and, you know, write discussion questions and everything, and I will check to see if there are already discussion questions. I'm fairly certain there aren't, but that will be fun. On my travels today, because I had to drive into Chicago for the book club meeting, so I drove about, I want to say like 2 hours. So I finished Kiss Her Once for Me. I have not done the rating using Compile yet, but I'm I'm assuming it's going to be like a 4.5 or a 5. I will put the actual rating while I'm editing here-ish. And I will actually put it here-ish. And I think it was really great. Like I said before, the audiobook is amazing. Definitely check out the audiobook. The narrator's phenomenal. But I really liked the way that it resolved itself. I loved the way that Ellie grew as a person through her experiences. And it was just like, it was just wrapped up really nicely. So I'm really happy about it. I am looking forward to rereading it in the future at some point. But I think it was just a really well done book. It gave me the same like warm, fuzzy feelings as the Charm Offensive had. So Alison Cochrun is now an official like must-buy author for me because she's done it twice. So that's good enough for me. But yeah, I really love it. I was able to get a decent amount of stuff done today, so I'm not like super panicked. I might finish up one last work thing tonight because I'm like 80% done, so I might as well just finish it so I don't have to worry about it tomorrow. And so tomorrow I can just like pack and film and stuff like that. So yeah, that's my update. I think that was more succinct than it actually was, and I'm going to be horribly embarrassed when I go to edit it. But Kiss Around to Me is really good. Probably a 5-star. If I'm wrong, I'll be very surprised. And you should check it out. Read it at any point in the year. Without spoilers, it's also good to read on Valentine's Day. But yeah, so that's it. And I will check in with you later. Also, one quick last note. I said, I think yesterday morning that like I thought I had hit the third act conflict. I was wrong. Another conflict happened, and fallout from that and everything. But I felt like I needed to acknowledge that my prediction that the third act conflict had happened at 82%. No, it did not. It happened later. But it got resolved really well. It was addressed. Story wrapped up nicely. So I just wanted to add that quick little note because I was thinking earlier as I was finishing it, I was like, oh, whoops. So important to acknowledge my mistake. So I haven't read today because I've been preparing for leaving to go to my dad's tomorrow. I'm stopping halfway there and staying at a hotel room. But the reason I've been running around like crazy is because there's actually a big snowstorm coming up this way. And so I'm leaving really early tomorrow morning to try to avoid as much of it as possible. And I'm going to stop at St. Louis pretty much, which is like roughly the halfway point. But because I'm leaving so early, I'm going to get there around like noon. So I'm going to have a lot of time to kill. I'm planning on editing. I have a writing date with a friend that night, and I'm gonna bring the holiday books from my December TBR that I haven't gotten a chance to read yet. So just really quickly, a review of that is Chrismukkah by Ron Gompertz, which is a satirical take on the combination holiday, but it's also really interesting because the author actually is in an interfaith marriage, and it talks about how they deal with that, especially as they have a child. And so I'm only like 26 pages in, but it's really funny and interesting so far. So I think I should be able to finish this really easily tomorrow while I'm at the hotel. And when I do that, I also have another really easy read, which is Hershel and the Hanukkah Goblins. And it doesn't have page numbers, but I think it's like maybe 25 pages, so I'll be able to read it in 30 minutes, if that. Probably less, because there's a lot of pictures. Like I've just looked, but like that looks awesome. So I'll be able to definitely read this tomorrow. So this will be my best week in December, mainly because there's a lot of short books. And I'm also bringing the Annotated Christmas Carol, and this one I probably won't be able to finish tomorrow night, but I will start it and, you know, make a dent in it, and I'll still read it while I'm at my dad's, and so I'll be able to probably finish it, if not by the end of the week, then early next week. And also, I'm planning on, while I'm driving down, I'm planning on going ahead and starting Self-Made Boys, which I'll include like a right there. And because it's the only other book on my TBR that is available on audiobook, and it actually came up in the library app that I use, that my hold had, you know, that it became available because I placed a hold on it like 2 weeks ago or something. So I'm going to go ahead and listen to that, and I think it said it's about like 9 hours, so I'll finish it before I get to my dad's house. Probably won't finish it tomorrow, but I'll finish it the next day. So that is quick little update. I will have lots more book content for you tomorrow. Just today was absolutely crazy with like last minute present buying, and I had to go pick up the lamb for Christmas dinner and figure out how I'm going to store it, because I'm taking it down to my dad's house because he couldn't get lamb, and it was a whole thing. There's just been a whole lot of like errands and then work and whatever, you know. Some days you just don't have time to read, but I will make up for it plenty tomorrow, so don't you worry. Okay, so I just started listening to Self-Made Boys. I'm on like chapter 2. I like literally just started it, but I needed to record something, because I think I mentioned in my December TBR video that this book had been reviewed by another booktuber, Becca, or Books by Becca, I think is her channel name, which I'll link in the description. But she had some thoughts on it, which so far I sort of agree with, but I'm trying not to let that influence me. However, something to know about me, and you'll see more if I ever do like a bookshelf tour or anything, but I went through a period when I was a teenager that I was like obsessed with Anne Boleyn, and she's just fascinating, and you know, it's a really interesting story, and so I have a fondness for Anne Boleyn, just because I've read so much about her, and while I haven't read a biography or anything about her in a couple of years, I still remember a lot of details. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because the chapter that I'm listening to in Self-Made Boys, the Daisy character, so if you don't know, in Self-Made Boys, it's a Great Gatsby retelling where both Jay and Nick are trans men, and they're gonna end up together. Like, that's not a spoiler. Like, that's not a spoiler, that's where it's gonna go. It says as much in the blurb. So the Daisy character in the chapter that I'm listening to right now, like, she made a comment about how, like, she doesn't need the staff at the Buchanan household to, like, stay and wait on her, and so she sends them away at, like, you know, in the evening or something. But she said, she's like, I'm not Anne Boleyn. I don't need people to wait on me to dress me and bring me apples. And I was just like, that's such a weird thing. Like, yeah, Anne Boleyn had people dress her because she was, you know, noble and then a queen. And also dresses were way more complicated in the 1500s than they were in the 1920s. But the apple thing, I was like, okay. So I just needed to pop in and say that because I don't want to forget about it later. So that's it. I just needed to make a little comment there. So I'll give more thoughts later. I'm so tired. I got to the hotel like 30 minutes ago. Quite honestly, I didn't listen to much more of Self-Made Boys because the Anne Boleyn comment still annoyed me. And so I switched over to podcasts. I will probably pick it up again tonight because I still have to wrap presents. So I'm going to do that at some point tonight. And I will, listen to it tomorrow when I finish the drive. But it's not looking great. I'm hoping that was just I know it was just a throwaway comment, so I shouldn't be focusing on it so much, but it just really bothered me. What else? So right now I'm just trying to decide if I want to take a nap, if I want to do the things that I need to do. No matter what, by the end of the night, I will finish wrapping presents because I can't not do that. And I do still have my writing date with my friend Ellis tonight. And that's in 4 hours. But the other thing is that I just don't nap that well. And so the idea that I'm just going to lay here and tell myself that I'm going to nap when I know that I only ever nap when I'm sick. It just feels like I'm wasting time. But the idea of getting up and doing things is also daunting. So I'm just kind of paralyzed. And I know I should just ask Siri what I should do, because at least then I'm making some sort of decision or being told to do something. But I don't know. This was a 3-minute ramble about how I haven't really done much today, so I hope you enjoyed that. I'll check in later. Okay, so I'm wrapping presents, and I've listened to about 10 more minutes of Self-Made Boys, and I want to bash my head in the wall. Because this is a really nitpicky thing, and it's more of a pet peeve because I know that it is correct, but it really bothers me when after every line of dialogue, the author writes, he said, Jay asked, he said, after every single line, it really bothers me. I know that it's technically correct. I know that, but it just bugs the crap out of me, and I honestly don't think that I can listen to any more of it. I like I said, I've listened to 10 more minutes, and Nick and Jay are talking, and after every single line, it's, he said. And I can't do it. I've started rolling my eyes along to it, and I don't know if it's just because it's in an audio book, and so that's why I'm noticing it more. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to return the audiobook because I can't listen to more of it. That's all I'm focusing on. I'm not focusing on the story at all. So I'm going to return the audiobook, and then I will just try reading it when I get home, because it just bugs me. And please leave a comment if it also bothers you. I'm sure there's a term for it. I don't know what it is off the top of my head. I'll ask my dad. But please leave a comment if it bothers you too, because I need to know I'm not the only one. But I will do that. What I might do is just, I know for a fact that all the other books on my TBR aren't available in audiobook. So what I might do is just pick a book at random from my Storygraph list and just get an audiobook from that list, so that at least I'm still like reading the book, even if it's not, you know, one of the 15. I'm still planning on reading later tonight with the books that I brought with me, so I'll still make progress with those, but I just can't do it. And I want to give this book a fair shot. So if the audiobook isn't working for me, I'm gonna read it. And hopefully it doesn't bug me as much. I know that it's still gonna bug me, but hopefully it doesn't make me want to bash my head in the wall. So that's my plan. I'll read later tonight and I'll tell you, you know, how those books are. So just wanted to explain that. Sorry. Okay, so I thought that I would go ahead and pick out what book I'm going to listen to as an audiobook tomorrow, since Self-Made Boys wasn't working for me. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to ask Siri because, well, let's see how it works. Hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 152. Okay, so she said 108, which, because Storygraph doesn't number the books on your to-read pile, I have to count. So, eight. That is not going to have an audiobook. Okay, so let's do this again. Hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 152. 81. Okay. So now I get to count backwards. Okay, so I got The Mirror Empire by Kameron Hurley. And I don't know if this has an audiobook, so I will look it up. And maybe that's what I'll read, or you're going to get to watch me do this all over again. This is a lot easier on my laptop, but, you know. Good morning. I'm about to start taking my stuff down to the car so I can drive to my dad's, but I wanted to, you know, film really quickly because I don't know what the rest of the day is going to look like besides like 6 hours in the car. I know we already have plans tonight to go see my godfather and then go to temple, so I just don't know when I'll be able to film again. I read most of Chrismukkah last night, and it's really like it's just really interesting, you know. It gives you like, you know, an explanation of how the combination holiday has come about, and then it gives you tips of like how to throw a genuine like Chrismukkah party, and including like drink recipes and food recipes, and there's a glossary towards the end, and it has it broken down between like Gentile language and Jewish language, so that no member of an interfaith family is confused. And it's just like it's just really cool. And I know it's like mainly supposed to be like, you know, funny, and it is, but it's also just really cool. And so I almost want my husband to read it, and my dad to read it, just to get more understanding. Like they understand Hanukkah, and you know, but it's all come from me. And so I would be interested to see like what parts of Chrismukkah can we highlight? And the whole point of Chrismukkah is making the holiday your own. And it says that, there's no one way to celebrate Chrismukkah, which I really appreciate, because that's true. Just like there's no one way to celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah. So it's really good. I have like not even 30 pages left. Like I want to say like 20 pages left, but I just couldn't do it last night. So I'll finish that today for sure. And I have to start packing my car. So bye. Good morning. It's Christmas Eve. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about my day yesterday, because I actually got a decent amount read for as much as we did. So I left the hotel. I started listening to The Mirror Empire, and I listened to about, I know I'm at like 16%, but so I want to say it's like maybe 3 hours. It's interesting so far. It is a lot of characters. And I don't know like who is the main one. Just because there's a lot of characters. Like, so I've listened to, I'm gonna say 3 hours, and it's multi POV, and I think that in those 3 hours I've gone through like 6 or 7 different POVs, and so I don't know who the main character is, and like the blurb doesn't really say names, and so I just don't know enough about the characters to know like who am I really rooting for here. I don't read a ton of high fantasy. Like I love Lord of the Rings, but I've also like read Lord of the Rings so much that going into reading a book about Lord of the Rings, about Middle Earth, doesn't confuse me anymore. So reading other high fantasy like takes me a little bit, because I'm so used to Middle Earth. But and I don't even know what this world is called. It talks about like 2 different countries, 2 or 3, and I don't remember any of their names. I think one of them has, their people are called Dage, I think. But in this world, there are certain people who have like talents, but using their talents is dependent on which star in that world is ascending, which is in control, I guess. And once that particular star is descending, they can't use their powers anymore, unless they're like super sensitive, and even then it's really difficult. And there is one of the stars hasn't been ascending for like 2,000 years, and it's like the star of destruction or something. And pretty much the characters are coming together to figure out like how to not, have their worlds destroyed or something like that. So it's, I don't know, I haven't read enough to really tell you much about it, and I don't feel like the blurb is very helpful. So I will probably listen to more. I might listen to more today, because I do have to finish wrapping presents, because I still haven't finished. So I might listen to like a chapter today, but otherwise I'm not really planning on listening to it again until I start driving home next week. So hopefully then I can give you some more information about it. I also finished Chrismukkah last night after we got back from services at the local temple, which was really cool. And you'll have seen a clip of Hanukkah lighting, which I had never, like I've said before, I've never been to a Hanukkah lighting like at temple. Like the ones at my temple, they've, the past couple of years, like every night except the first night has been virtual, and I've just never been able to go in person, and a virtual Hanukkah lighting is different from, what I saw last night and what I know my temple did on the first night. So it was really cool to be able to see that. But I finished Chrismukkah last night. It was good. Like I said before, it was really funny. It had a lot of interesting ideas about how to really like make this holiday your own. And then I only had like 20 pages left, so I'm regretting not just like reading it and finishing it Thursday night, but whatever. And then it was also like, why stop at a combination holiday for Christmas and Hanukkah? Let's do other combination holidays. So now that's over, and then at some point today I will get to Hershel and the Hanukkah Goblins, because I would like to finish it today, which won't be hard. I just literally just need to pick it up. And then tonight, depending on what my Christmas Eve book is going to be, I'll probably, like, once we go to bed and everything, I will probably start reading A Christmas Carol. I probably won't finish it tonight, because I've just been so tired, and I know I don't sleep the best in a bed that isn't my own, and so pretty much this whole week I'm gonna sleep like crap, so I'm gonna go to bed early to try to compensate for that, but I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna end this clip because I don't know if you can hear one of my dad's dogs can hear me talking, and so she's whining because she wants attention, so I'm gonna go give her attention, and I will check in with you guys later. Hey everyone, I just finished, well, not just finished, it was like 3 hours ago, but I finished reading Hershel and the Hanukkah Goblins. It was really cute. It's a short story, it's like 35 pages, but it's about this man named Hershel who comes up to a village on the first night of Hanukkah and is very surprised when no one has like menorahs lit, no one has latkes prepared. They tell him that is because of the Hanukkah goblins, which are goblins who have taken over the local synagogue and who hate Hanukkah. And Hershel is pretty much just like, well, they haven't met me, I'll take care of them. So he goes to the synagogue, and he was told by the rabbi that in order to send the goblins away, he has to light the Hanukkah candles all 8 nights in the synagogue. And on the 8th night, the Goblin King would come, and Hershel would have to make the Goblin King light the menorah. So it was a really cute story about, Hershel outwitting these goblins, and all the different ways that he accomplished that. And so, like, I think it was really enjoyable. I think that kids would love it. There is the potential for them to have like nightmares about it because the goblins are pretty scary looking. Like I said, I think it was really cute. I ended up giving it 4.5 out of 5 stars, and I don't remember if I said earlier, but I gave Chrismukkah the same rating. Chrismukkah was also 4.5 out of 5. So I just wanted to pop in and say that really quickly before I forgot. We have just been like playing games a lot. We're about to have dinner and about to do all our like Christmas Eve traditions, so I'll check in later.